Izumi is an overpowered high school boy, half Japanese, half British, and literally cracked at every sport. The only thing he can't win is figuring out his crush's feelings. Anyway, one random day, he gets yoinked out of nowhere into a whole other world called Flonyard. Because a useless princess named Milhiore decided she needed a hero to help win her country's war. Not gonna lie, her entire army was made up of useless, ugly NPCs straight out of a tutorial level. But here's the twist. Izumi didn't just win battles, he might have also won something else. The story kicks off with the leaders of the Biscotti Republic all freaking out because they're about to get bodied by their rival nation, Galette. The vibes are bad. Their defense is basically nothing more than useless NPCs and weak weapons, and if they lose, their castle's going bye-bye. So their Princess Milhiore pulls out the emergency plan, summoning a hero from another world. Because yeah, that's totally reasonable. Cut to Earth. Izumi's packing up for school like nothing's happening. This dude's probably late because he's got a flight to catch or something. But then out of nowhere, some sus little dog creature with a knife is just stalking him, okay? As Izumi's running home, he takes a shortcut, parkours off a ledge, and suddenly the dog opens a magic portal right where he lands. Bro gets isekai'd mid-jump. When he wakes up, he's lying on an altar like the main character. Well, he is. And standing before him is a literal anime princess. She's got ears and a tail, and Izumi's like, for real, is this a cosplay event or what? Turns out Flonyard is basically furry heaven. Everyone's either a cat human or dog human. Milhiore hits him with the full explanation that her country is terrible at fighting, their enemies are overpowered, and they need Izumi to solo the entire army. He dives straight into battle. But fighting here isn't normal. Instead of blood and guts, it's all bonk him on the head or back and you score points. And yeah, Izumi goes full gamer mode. He wipes out enemy soldiers like they're level 1 NPCs, and the useless NPCs, who've never seen an overpowered warrior before, are absolutely losing their minds. Meanwhile, Galette's commander, a girl named Chelly, sees this random human popping off and wants to handle it herself. Elsewhere, Izumi, who met a Biscotti captain named Eclair, asked him to teach her to perform a cannon seal. It was a power spell that used life energy. Eclair shows him how to channel Flonyard energy into spirit energy, load it into your weapon, and yeet it like an energy nuke. They try it once, and the entire enemy battalion gets wiped off the map, just like you wiped your forbidden browser history. But before they can even high-five, some chaos erupts from long range. Who's behind it? Yup, it's our new useless character, Commander Chelly. So Izumi and Eclair team up to take her down. Their coordination is absolute hot garbage. They both jump in, whiff their timing, and straight up crash into each other mid-air like two pigeons fighting over a French fry. Chelly's like, okay, y'all had your fun, then drops her ultimate move. The whole arena explodes like your brain during a math exam. But somehow, Izumi and Eclair dodge that mess by anime jumping into the sky. And this time, they actually work together, pulling off a synchronized attack that strips Chelly down to her undies. Yup, that happened. They didn't just defeat her, they ruined her outfit and her ego. And because Chelly didn't want YouTube dem recaps to get a YouTube violation because of her clothes, she also withdrew from the fight and promised to avenge her defeat in the next meeting. Thanks, Chelly. With that, Biscotti wins the war, kind of. I mean, it's more like they survived the world's weirdest LARP session. After that mess, Izumi gets invited to a victory concert where Princess Milhiore, yes, our useless princess, is going to sing. But Izumi needs to call his parents because they probably think he got kidnapped or joined a cult. Loran, one of the royal guys, casually drops the worst possible news. If Izumi can't go home, it's forever, for real. And Milhiore's face looks like someone just told her that anime got cancelled. Apparently, even she didn't know this little detail, so now Izumi's low-key spiraling, but Milhiore promises to help him find a way back. She sends her assistant, Ricotta, to figure it out. Meanwhile, Izumi's chillin' with Eclair and finds out the whole war was basically fantasy dodgeball, a diplomatic event. No one actually dies unless it's a fight with literal demons. So, all that trauma was just ceremonial, just Flonyard things. Later, they meet up with Ricotta, who's got that child genius energy. Izumi begs her to make a gadget that can help his phone catch a signal because he wants to watch Dem Recap's video. The next day, Ricotta shows up with a homemade antenna contraption, probably made of kitchen utensils, and pure vibes. They hook it up and Izumi gets a signal. Dude is thrilled. He starts calling everyone, telling them he's alive, not abducted, not in jail, just got isekai'd real quick. But then Ricotta wants to borrow his phone to study it. Izumi, however, refuses, because that thing is still under warranty, and there's no way he's letting her void it with her goblin hands. 1 hour before the victory concert, Izumi was just vibing around when suddenly, someone screams. Not just any scream, it was Princess Miliori's voice. Man panicked like he just remembered he left the stove on. Turns out our royal girl boss got kidnapped by Gall, who's actually Chelly's little brother. Bro was not evil though, he just wanted to spar with Izumi, probably to flex or maybe just bored out of his mind. So now they've got a rescue mission. Izumi dives right in. Meanwhile, Milhior is just casually chilling, literally playing with Gall's pet tiger like it's a zoo field trip. Turns out she's childhood besties with Chelly. On the outside, Izumi and Eclair start their raid with a cannon straight out of Ricotta's mad scientist lab. They blast through the front gate like it's Call of Duty. But Godwin, Gall's war general, pulls up like the final boss. But just when things were looking grim, Brioche enters the chat. Yep, the secret sword queen of Biscotti just got back from her mission and brought her ninja bestie, Yukikaze. Brioche is so OP, she literally slices a giant wall like it's cake. With their help, the crew crashes into the fortress and Izumi finally squares up with Gall. But Gall's all fired up, throwing out seal spells and life energy like confetti. His Lion Claw Slash of Doom is doing serious damage until Bro ends up hurting himself. Meanwhile, Izumi's like, I can do that too, and pulls a main character move. He fuses his broken stick into a sword powered by pure determination, and maybe plot armor, then gets ready to clap Gall before the concert starts. Gall hears concert and gets confused, like he just found out Santa isn't real. He's out here throwing punches while Izumi's worried about being late to a musical performance. Priorities. Meanwhile, outside the castle, Chelly pulls up uninvited like she's the angry older sibling who just found the Wi-Fi bill. She tells Brioche to move so she can talk to Gall. Brioche obviously says no, so now they're throwing hands too. They fight like gods for a bit until Chelly goes Ultra Instinct, drops her seal spell, and one-shots Brioche. Even Godwin's like, damn, that's impressive. But Chelly's not having it. She straight up says Brioche wasn't even trying. Like not even 20% of her power was used. She then storms inside, finds Izumi and Gall mid-fight, and goes full strict Asian mom. No words, just a combo attack of guilt, violence, and disappointed sighs. She knocks both their heads like she's resetting a Wi-Fi router and scolds them for ruining someone else's party. So, after all that chaos with Gall and the Princess Rescue mission, Big Sis Chelly pulled up and basically bonked both of them like she was done babysitting for free. She wasn't having it. Dude just hijacked an entire celebration like it was his own after-party. Still, Chelly stayed classy. She apologized to Milhiore for her little brother acting like a useless final boss. But there was another problem. The concert was about to start, and Milhiore was still nowhere near the stage. When Izumi heard that, he suddenly got an idea. He figured he could use that brand new life energy move he just learned to turbo himself back home. Without wasting time, he scooped up Milhiore in his arms and full-on sprinted toward Biscotti. In the middle of that track meet from hell, Yukikaze showed up, casually matching Izumi's speed like she'd been jogging next to a train for fun. She offered to take turns carrying the princess. But Izumi declined because he wanted to push his limits even more. So this man went full Iron Man again. He dropped a seal spell mid-run, formed a whole rocket surfboard, and flew like Sonic. With that ridiculous speed, he managed to get Milhiore to her concert right on time. She hit the stage, sang her golden voice out, and the crowd went wild. Meanwhile, Izumi was passed out like a phone that hit 0%, his life energy fully drained. The next morning, the Biscotti Knights got honored for their performance in the battle. Eclair especially got a shout-out for saving Milhiore from that kidnapping mess. As a reward, Milhiore patted Eclair's head, which caused her tails to wag like she just won the lottery. Izumi saw that and started thinking maybe that was a sign of high respect in this world. So later, while training with Eclair, he tried the same thing. Yeah, it didn't go well. She ended up beating him into next Tuesday. Apparently, in her world, unsolicited head pats come with consequences. After training, Izumi visited Brioche and Yukikaze's place for a chill lunch. While chatting, Yukikaze suddenly brought up the idea of Izumi returning to his world. She mentioned that somewhere far away, there was a rumor that a hero could go back once they fulfilled their mission. Hearing that, Izumi felt relieved and way more hopeful than before. Meanwhile, back at the royal office, Melchiorre was looking a bit distracted. Her assistant noticed the princess clearly wanted to see Izumi, so they took the initiative to clear her schedule for a dinner. That news made Melchiorre wag her tail like she just got an invite to prom. Later that night, the long-awaited dinner finally happened. Melchiorre looked happy seeing Izumi all dressed up and actually presentable. They sat down, sipped tea, and talked for a while. At one point, Izumi asked why she chose him as her hero. Melchiorre explained that she had seen him during Ninja Warrior, and even though he didn't win, she was impressed by how hard he worked and how nimble he was despite his small size. She also said that when she saw him cry after losing, she thought his tears were beautiful, not in a weird way, but because he gave everything he had. That honesty and effort were what convinced her he was the right choice. Izumi got flustered hearing that since he remembered only getting second place, losing to both his teacher and rival, and sobbing like the final scene of a sports anime. Still, he thanked her for believing in him. Then the story jumped over to Galatean Castle, where Chelly was visibly frustrated. She seemed to be trying to alter some kind of prophecy, but her efforts weren't working. Turned out she could see the future, clearly. And what she saw is straight-up nightmare fuel. Both Izumi and Melchiorre were prophesied to die within 30 days. Worse yet, the prophecy stated that it couldn't be changed. Yeah, it's giving Countdown to Doom realness. So now, the real questions started rolling in. Was the prophecy real? Could it be stopped? Who was going to kill them? And what was Chelly planning to do next? And when is the thumbnail scene? Stay tuned, because whatever's coming next is definitely not going to be chill. Thanks for watching. This is Dem Recaps. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.